This is Stirling Talks on Stirling Community Radio, coming to you from inside Stirling Castle here. Listen, you think you may know the Argyll and Sutherland Museum. You've probably been to the museum before. Did you know they have something that has been in space? What? And a Guinness Book of World Records. We're going to get into all of that this morning. Caitlin and Islay are here with me. Islay, for you, first, starting off here. We've got people, they know the history, they've probably got some family connections to, the regiment and all that stuff. Why should people come to the museum now?
Because Stirling, there's not a family that comes from Stirling that won't have a link to this regiment. The heritage of Stirling, the Argyll and Sutherland Highlanders, is connected into, throughout. And when they come here, they can come and share their stories, and we can share their stories about their family and what they've been up to. We have that heritage recorded here.
And so you know some of that story, and some of that you may know. But Caitlin, we're just going to jump into it here. I thought maybe Islay was going to jump in here and just take, but we'll get to him. I trust you. I'm fascinated by this. You've got something that's been in space. What is that all about?
Yeah, so we have a regimental plaque that was in space in the year 2000. It's something that we aim to do at the museum here. We don't want people to see military museum and think that's not for me. We aim to have something for everybody. So when you come into the museum, we look at subjects that typically are maybe missing in military museums. So we look at women's history, we look at animals and the mascots that we have. You mentioned our Guinness World Book of Records holder. We do in fact have the oldest football medallion in world history. So that's something very special for Stirling between the medal and the football. So we really dive into that sports history as well. But no, if you come into the museum right now, you will see a plaque that was in outer space in the year 2000, along with the image beside it, floating in space with the astronauts alongside it. So
I am a massive space. Seriously, you've got to come in and see this. I'm a huge nerd for this kind of stuff. So Islay, with that being the context here, there's people listen to this and they'll go, I've got a connection. I know this. Well, hang on a second. I didn't know they had that there. And that to me sounds like a great reason for them to come up here and celebrate what they know, but also maybe learn a little bit more about their connections to this place.
Absolutely, and they don't even have to pay sometimes. We have free weekends through the winter months where the families can come up. It's better if they get in touch with us beforehand so that we've got somebody to come in and answer their questions and queries. But we're also in the planning stage, or we're in the process of about to launching our interactive service map. That'll be online, where they can share their stories, their images, their medals, or whatever they have of their forefathers who have served with the Argyll and Sutherland Highlanders throughout our generations of history.
And we talked before we started here about some of my grandfather was in a Highland regiment, and I'm trying to piece together pieces of history here. It seems like now, especially now, that generation and these generations and the stories that you out there may know, they're fading away and we're losing these things. It's more important now more than ever, even if it's just a little piece of your family history, to share that, to get that documented and to get it out there so that more people can find out.
Absolutely. So part of our legacy here at the Regimental Trust and Museum Trust is education. So we deliver education to the National Curriculum Level 5. We go into schools, or the schools come here. We tell the story of the Argyll and Sutherland Highlanders during First World War, Second World War, Victorian era. And it's interesting that the children then pick up from their family history that they've got legacy and list, and so we then help the children learn about their forefathers. Right. We have a bit of a footnote here that learning and never forgetting is our motto for future generations. Right. So we do that. We deliver that in our education program.
And that being said, Caitlin, there are some parts in here talking about the kids coming in. There's some parts here that aren't an easy story to tell, but you manage all that depending on the age group of the kids. I know that, but all of this, the complete story here, is so important to get through to that next generation, isn't it?
Oh, no, absolutely. There's different ways that we do education. So Islay mentioned that we do support alongside the National Curriculum for Excellence. We do primary schools all the way up to secondary higher level as well, but we do informal learning as well. So it doesn't need to be strictly schools. So we do have those cadet visits. We do outreach. Only last week before, we were working alongside Raploch History Group, Raploch obviously being a regimental recruitment area as well. But we do teach kids as well, not just about museum and history. We work alongside developing youth workforce. Last year we did a fantastic project with a group from Grangemouth, Bean Cross Primary School, primary sevens, and they were designing their own handling kits for World War One. So they got to pick their objects, really given that autonomy to choose what they were doing. But the idea there was a career development aspect. So we were teaching them history, but also showing them that history and museums can actually be for anybody. And all the kids changed their history topics to World War One and World War Two, because when we first went in, these kids could not tell you the date that World War One started and finished, and that's fine, because that's what we're here to do.
Exactly.
And we actually work with schools way out of Stirling too. We do encroach into Fife a couple of times, but yes, we do have topics that are difficult to discuss, but we do, and we can support learning in a way that's more than textbooks and presentations. And when you see those kids, handling those objects, and yes, okay, maybe they're not having conversations that are going to appear in their exams, but they're engaging with history and they're in the classroom and they're enjoying learning. The best moments in my career, genuinely.
That's what I was just about to ask you, because if you check out Isla's bio here, you've been there, you've done that, you've served, and when you're here with your history and you see a young person and you see that light bulb go off, what does that mean to you with your history to this place?
It's very, very interesting, because it's got parallels to my whole life. I joined the Argyll and Sutherland Highlanders at the age of 12, I would suggest, when I was an army cadet on the Isle of Islay, and then joined as a junior soldier into regular service in the early 80s. Spent 32 years in the Argyll and Sutherland Highlanders, which became the 5th Battalion of the Royal Regiment of Scotland in 2006. And sadly, the demise of 5 Scots down to one company called Balaclava Company, linked back to 1854, the famous battle in Crimea. When you see children, I love seeing cadets, and just children as well, really reaching out and being desperate to learn what you know about your service, about our history, and coming into this space, they really are, their minds start really, really working hard to learn and enjoy.
You did that drill round only last week with Alan's primary school, who are just down the road as well, so they got really into that too.
So we're doing a project. One of our other educations officer, Claire Rogers, is working with one of the local schools, Raploch Primary, Allen Primary, and they are doing a young guides production relating to the First World War and the Argylls who were stationed here in the castle, and they're doing the reenactment, and they're getting filmed doing the reenactment with all the uniforms of the period on. And so one of the things they asked me to do, now I used to be a regimental sergeant major probably about 30 odd years ago, had to put that thinking cap on very quickly up in our colours room and take something in the region, I think it was about 28 children, on a quick drill lesson. I took a drill lesson that normally a soldier would take 2 40-minute periods. I had 10 minutes to deliver the same lesson. But it was interesting that the children reacted to the words of command. Once they knew what the words of command were, the teachers couldn't believe how quickly they were learning in 10 minutes. How to be disciplined, how to be respectful and uniformal in what they were about to do in the words of command.
Could we maybe see a change in career? I think maybe some of the teachers might want him on board. So that we've got the kids in here. It's very, very interactive. So again, if you've been here before, not recently, get in here, because it's very interactive. It's very family friendly, all generations. And that research that you can find out about some of the history maybe some of the history that's part of your life that you don't know is all right here. I'm definitely going to be back, because I'm a fan of this place. If someone's listening to this, I think they can pick up on my interest, and you too, and your passion for this, especially you. If someone wants to get more involved, what should they do?
Wow. You just have to link to our web page or on our social media platforms, the Argyll and Sutherland Highlanders Museum. Caitlin is the communications officer. She'll pick up messages, inquiries on our web page. We've got that open. People can come and volunteer. Currently, our volunteer program's quite full in terms of really good volunteers. Over 40 volunteers keep this museum going on a day-to-day basis, 363 days a year. We also are out to look for guardians. Guardians are people who can become members of the museum trust, and they get invited to cocktail evenings, etc., and just give back. They're giving back to their heritage that here in Stirling. We're also about to probably open up, we're looking for some new trustees with specific skill sets who can lean in and support my little team of 6, with whether it's education specialist, fundraising specialist, business specialist, communication specialist. If you've got that tool and you've got that experience and you've got a bit of time to give, we would love to hear from you, because we would look at possibly getting you on our board of trustees.
Hang on. You've only got 6 people. This is a big place.
We have 6 people, and I may add 2 of them are part-time.
Right.
And we open this museum 363 days a year to the opening hours of the castle. The castle, we don't control the castle historic environment. Scotland control the opening and closing, but we adhere to their hours, because this is very much the what's the word I'm looking for? The jewel in the crown.
Right.
And the visitors have got something to come into warmth if it's the winter months.
Right.
And one thing I'll say about the young children love this space, because we have a Lego trail, and the Lego trail keeps the young children busy when mum and dad are trying to read and understand what's going on in the cases, the collection. So, and it's a great success, the Lego trail. We've also got a Princess Louise trail. Right. Princess Louise being our first colonel in the regiment, 4th child of Queen Victoria, back in 1881, right up until 1928 when she passed. So there's a whole load of things. Jewellery. I mean, we have jewellery in this place belonging to the late Her Majesty the Queen Elizabeth, and various other well-known sort of commanding officers.
I remember one time I was coming through, and there's a bit of a story about something from Her Majesty that's here that she forgot about, if I remember correctly.
Well, one of the cases is featured, it's a royal case where there's a dress belonging to the late Her Majesty. Yeah. Now, if you go back to 1987, the King's building that we're sitting in right now in this lovely officers' mess, the late Her Majesty came here and opened the museum for the very first time in this building in 1987. After the visit, she then presented the dress, her dress that she was wearing to that visit, and forgot all about it. When she came back in 2021, when after our major refurbishment after COVID in 2021, she pulled back the unveiling of the plaque, and there in this case was her dress. She looked at the dress and broke into great smile and joy and thought, oh my goodness, I forgot about this dress. And there's a lovely picture of her in one of the staircases laughing at looking at her own dress in the showcase.
Little stories like that, I will say, are just around every corner at this place. I mean, really amazing stories. Come in for yourself, but also take one of the guided tours as well, because I found that to be just an absolutely amazing experience. I also, listen, we're running out of time here real quick. What I mentioned as well, we're sitting in an amazing room right now. People can get married here?
Yeah, well, this is the officers' mess, so we can sit 16 people around this beautiful dining table with the finest regimental china, the crystal, the silver. It's a high net worth, it's quite an expensive experience, but that's there for them. We've also got our colours room, who can sit up to 50 people to dinner, or any event. We've had a wedding in there, up to 70 people seated watching a wedding. Okay. Playing with a piper, playing them into the Douglas Garden, champagne on the garden, and then pipe down to the Highland Hotel for their reception. Yeah. So there's lots of.
You've done it now. Yeah, you've done it. You've mentioned it all now.
Should also add, if anybody's interested in seeing these spaces, because accessibility is a huge thing for us. We've spoke about the amazing age of the building we're in, but unfortunately that does come with a couple of caveats, especially for mobility. So we do have a virtual tour that was supported by Museum Galleries Scotland and Ewan's Guide, and if you go on there are a lot of, there's a couple of snippets about the spaces we're talking about. So if anybody wanted to check them out before coming to see them in person themselves, they're more than welcome to check out the officers' mess, because I'm very aware we're speaking about these spaces, it's difficult to visualise. So if you go onto our website, which is justargyles.co.uk, you'll find the videos for all those sites as well. So we could speak about the amazing amazing objects we've got in those spaces.
She's good.
One add-on to the ability. No, it's adding to what Caitlin has said. So if somebody comes and they're not able to go through our spaces because it's all stairs, too many stairs in fact, unfortunately we weren't allowed to put an elevator in. We have a virtual tour for any members of family who are not able to come into the space. We take them to a quiet space, we give them a tablet and they can do the virtual tour whilst the remainder of the family are wandering.
That's important. That's very nice. That's good. Something else that's important, this is a radio station, we are running out of time here. I don't know if Caitlin gave you the heads up on this, but I might pull a whammy and ask her the question as well. But we are a radio station, and I usually end each interview with a very awkward question for some. Might be very awkward for you, I don't know. What was your first concert?
Wow.
Yeah, there you go.
It was Whitney Houston.
What?
Yeah.
Really?
Whitney Houston, and it was down in Wembley, when it had done
The old Wembley.
not the stadium, but the arena. There was an arena next door,
Right.
and that was in mid-80s. And I was taken. Wait for this one. I was taken by our former colonel of the regiment, who I was one of his protectors, one of his drivers, and he invited myself and a couple of others to go and watch Whitney Houston in Wembley Arena in 1987. There you go.
That's amazing. That's a good one. I feel bad now. What was yours?
No, so my first concert was actually a bit of buying a ticket last minute so my friend didn't lose our money. In high school, my friend had horses and our horse bucked and hit her in the face and damaged her nose, lost her tooth. So I bought her ticket from her, and it was Mumford and Sons at the Armadillo.
Oh, wow.
That was mine. So I wasn't even meant to go, but it was fantastic. Sorry to my friend. Yeah.
So we'll figure out. We're going to do some Mumford and Sons, maybe a little Whitney Houston before we get out of here. Great stuff here. One more time. People want to find out more. What should they do?
They should go online and they should go to the argylls.co.uk. And that's the webpage, and we'll link them. All the information's there to do anything, or social media. We're all over social media.
Give us a little bit of, I want to dance or something.
Not that.
All right, there you go. She's saying it. It's Stirling Community Radio. This is Stirling Talks.
Stirling Talks with Wilson on Stirling Community Radio.